Imagine this. You wake up, your heart is already racing. And before you even leave bed, your mind is running through everything that could go wrong today. That's anxiety. It follows you into work, into conversations, even into your sleep. It whispers, "What if I fail? What if they leave? What if everything collapses?" Now picture Marcus Aurelius, Emperor of Rome, with armies threatening his borders, betrayal inside his own court, and the weight of an entire empire on his shoulders. In the middle of that chaos, he writes calmly in his journal, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." He faced more pressure than most of us could ever imagine, and yet he remained calm. What did he know that we don't? The answer is Stoicism, and it's one of the most powerful antidotes to anxiety ever created. At its core, anxiety is fear of the future, fear of things outside our control. The Stoics saw clearly that most of our suffering doesn't come from reality itself, but from our imagination. Epictetus said it bluntly, "Men are disturbed not by things, but by the views they take of them." Think about that. Two people can face the same event, losing a job, getting rejected, being criticized, and one collapses with anxiety while the other remains calm. The difference is not the event, but the interpretation. For the Stoics, anxiety is simply our mind rehearsing suffering before it happens. And that's a trap they learn to escape. Why do we get so anxious? Because we tie our peace of mind to things outside our control. We tie it to approval on social media, to promotions at work, to whether someone likes us or rejects us, to money, status, beauty, or health. All of these can be taken away in an instant. And if your calm depends on them, your calm is fragile. This is why anxiety dominates modern life. We wake up checking messages. We compare ourselves to strangers online. We measure our worth by things we don't control. Epictetus compared this to slavery. He said, "If you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid." In other words, if your confidence and peace collapse the moment others judge you, you are not free. You are enslaved to opinion. Anxiety thrives when our worth is built on sand. Stoicism rebuilds it on rock. The Stoics gave us tools to destroy anxiety at its roots. The first is the dichotomy of control. Epictetus taught that the first step to peace is separating what is within our control from what is not. My actions, choices, judgments, those are mine. Opinions, outcomes, and events, those are not. He said, "If you wish to be invincible, do not enter into a contest where victory is not in your control." Think about a job interview. You cannot control whether the interviewer likes you or not. But you can control your preparation, your clarity, your honesty. Think about relationships. You cannot control whether someone stays or leaves, but you can control the way you love, with integrity, with honesty, with self-respect. Think about your health. You cannot control every illness, but you can control your effort, what you eat, how you move, how you take care of yourself. When you stop trying to control the uncontrollable, anxiety dissolves. The second tool is negative visualization. The Stoics practiced premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. They would imagine failure, loss, even death, not to depress themselves, but to remove fear's power. Seneca wrote, "He suffers more than necessary who suffers before it is necessary." By visualizing the worst, you realize it is survivable. You stop fearing shadows. Try this. Before a big presentation, imagine the embarrassment if it goes wrong. Imagine the awkward silence, the rejection. Then remind yourself, it won't kill you. Suddenly, the anxiety weakens. You've robbed fear of its sting. The third practice is voluntary discomfort. Seneca advised deliberately stepping into hardship. Set aside a certain number of days, during which you shall be content with the scantiest and cheapest fare, with coarse clothing, and say to yourself the while, "Is this the condition I feared?" Why? Because most anxiety comes from fear of losing comfort. But if you've trained yourself to sleep on the floor, to eat simple food, to take cold showers, you lose that fear. Modern people panic when Wi-Fi drops or when they lose their phone battery. The Stoic who has trained for hardship smiles. He knows he can endure. This practice builds resilience. When you know you can live with less, you no longer panic at the thought of losing more. Imagine two people. One has always lived in luxury, soft beds, fine food, constant convenience. The other has trained himself to go without. When life throws hardship at both, who will collapse? And who will remain calm? The answer is obvious. Voluntary discomfort doesn't weaken you, it frees you. The fourth tool is mastering inner dialogue. Marcus Aurelius filled his meditations with reminders to himself. You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Anxiety often begins as a whisper in the mind. What if I fail? What if they hate me? What if I lose everything? Most people believe these voices without question. The Stoics trained themselves to talk back, to answer fear with reason. What if I fail? Then I will endure and try again. What if they reject me? That is not in my control. What if I lose everything? Then I will live simply as I have trained. Your thoughts are not commands, they are suggestions, and you get to decide which ones to believe. If you never challenge your inner dialogue, anxiety becomes your master. If you train it, you become free. The fifth and final practice is living by a code. Marcus Aurelius said, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." Anxiety thrives when you live out of alignment with yourself. When you lie, betray your values, or seek approval, you always feel shaky. But when you know your code, honesty, courage, discipline, and you live it daily, you gain a deep calm. Because no matter what happens outside, you can respect yourself. And self-respect is the ultimate destroyer of anxiety. Now let's apply these ideas to modern life. At work, most people are anxious because they want to be liked, promoted, praised. But none of that is under their control. The Stoic focuses only on effort, honesty, clarity. He speaks truthfully and lets the outcome be what it will. Paradoxically, this makes him more respected, because people sense that his calm is real. In relationships, most people fear rejection and abandonment. They cling, they beg, they lose themselves. The Stoic loves deeply, but never loses himself. He remains whole, with or without the other. He does not beg, he does not chase, he remains steady. Anxiety disappears when love is chosen freely, not when it is begged for. On social media, most people tie their peace to likes and comments. One compliment makes them feel high, one insult ruins their week. But Epictetus would laugh. If your calm depends on pixels, you don't have calm at all. The Stoic does not outsource his worth to algorithms. He anchors it in himself. Even in health, anxiety can be transformed. Modern people live in constant fear of illness, aging, or losing their looks. The Stoic accepts mortality. He trains his body, but he knows the body is temporary. His peace is not built on youth or beauty. That is why he remains calm while others panic. Anxiety is destroyed not by controlling the world, but by mastering yourself. Detach your worth from externals. Visualize the worst, and see that you can survive. Train yourself to endure discomfort. Master your inner dialogue. Live by a code you respect. This is the Stoic way, and it's as powerful today as it was 2,000 years ago. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, "Choose not to be harmed, and you won't feel harmed. Don't feel harmed, and you haven't been." That is the essence of destroying anxiety. Knowing that the power lies not in the world, but in you. If this mental shift helped you, hit like and subscribe. Share it with someone who's battling anxiety. No one should face the storm alone. Train your mind, control your breath, stand firm until the next lesson.